Welcome, SASANs, to this week's episode of SASANs and Dragons, a homebrew house rule infested game of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. I am your dungeon master, Magnus Beasticus, and going with the theme of gift giving, once again this week, we will be giving out a gift to give to you. This nice wormwood, what is it again? What is the... Black walnut. Yeah. This nice black walnut wormwood dice holding case. Beautiful, beautiful. It will not come with the dice. All you have to do to enter in to win this awesome, beautiful prize is like, subscribe if you haven't already, share the video. We can't tell if you did or not, so we'll just have to trust you on that one. And write us a comment. And, you know, out of the massive amount of comments that we get, we might just choose yours. All right, let's get into the game itself. Rolling the intros, just in case. Go for it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Valkyr Invictare. Well, that's my character's name. I am actually Rummy, a male protector Asimar, fighter wizard level 10.
Yeah?
That's it.
Let's hope you finish those intros.
Maximus Dominus, I play Herchek Bane, a Goliath barbarian.
Well, I'm Luna, and I play Thunky Beerbot, a female mountain dwarf druid.
It started already. My name is Enzer, and I play Crow, a roguish monk.
Okay. When last we left Oren's Obliterate, they had instigated a match between the guard of Orenbelle, the city in which they also protect, and themselves. The mercenaries turned heroes of Oren's Obliterate. They then, and the match was slated to take place in 3 days' time. In the meantime, they paid a visit to Kunbara, their old traveling companion, who is now the queen of Orenbelle. After some catching up, Kunbara pointed them into a few different directions where they could find out more information on Koltessa and the remnants of the constellation that were aglow in her wake. We now pick up 2 days until the match with Oren's Obliterate, as always, in the fancy main. Breakfast time, I'll say. I mean, you can correct me if it doesn't do this, but Artemis flying through the sky
Sure.
as Valkyr is tending to his steed, his still yet to be named steed, down below, and everybody else at the top.
His steed, Steve.
We'll say that
There's
food
no
has
name to
been
him, so-
delivered. Your lots of meats and cheeses, some eggs,
The
lots of
Herchek
any
special.
kind of eggs that you want, and milk and other breakfast items.
This happened to us?
you
They
guys.
delivered it to us?
Yeah, already.
They know,
Why?
because
Did we do something amazing? Don't we normally have to order food?
We
Melvin,
we're skipping that process.
He doesn't want us
this
to talk
time
to Melvin.
around.
Continental breakfast.
No, Melvin's right there as a trusty, long, black-haired, straight-back-haired elven form of Melvin in his olive vest, cleaning his glass as he always is. As he's cleaning his glass, you
This is
see
fantastic.
arms come out.
It's been
and
the same
serve you
glass for
food.
2 years, Melvin.
Yeah, it's actually never mind. All right, so what are you guys up to? You guys have a few different places to go to. Kunbara pointed you towards Ponavin, the head of the temple to Le Chantier in the Corellan system, and to Orion Finnegan, the chief librarian of the Gleaming Library.
Well, I say after breakfast we go to the Gleaming Library. You know how much I love to read.
Yes.
I say let's do it.
Is Artemis with us? Is Artemis with us?
You said he was flying around.
Yeah,
so-
he's just flying around the top of keeping watch, and you know that Artemis has good enough senses to be able to hear your conversation as you're having it.
Jesus.
So the bird is flying around within
Yes.
the inside.
There
It's
is
got a
no.
spacious ceiling.
Open air.
It's open air. It's got like the back wall that Melvin bartends on that houses most of the alcohol sort of raises up and arches over and covers maybe like 30% of it, but everything else is completely open air. It's always been this way.
I think you say this every time.
Very hard to picture.
Well, that's not my problem.
Well then.
That was a good hard.
Did you want to do something with Artemis?
Oh, just to make sure that Varkir is going to be coming with us, and he knows the situation. Since, where's Varkir?
Did you hear that, Artemis?
Or did you hear that, Varkir? Because
He
when you
pretty
talk,
much-
if you say Artemis, you'll talk to Artemis.
He pretty much lands on your shoulder and just nods his head once, like,
Oh, I thought he pecked me. I was about to punch
no,
him.
and but you just,
Don't peck me, Artemis.
Okay, let's go then.
Oh, you guys are just heading to the Gleaming Library?
Well, you've
I
eaten our
finished my breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have to order anything. It was a very fast process.
It's okay.
We tell Melvin when we're going.
Okay.
I'll thank Melvin too.
Okay. Ah, well, yes. Have a good time at the Gleaming Library. Lots of knowledge to be gained there. I also heard that Kunbara lifted any sort of ban on any private or withheld books in the library. So, all of the information should be at your fingertips. Toodaloo. Tell Ryan I said sup.
Someone making rice?
It's the dishwasher.
Tell
Melvin, your dishes are done.
Orion.
Well-
No, it's clearly not.
Yeah, same one the whole time, Melvin. Suspicious. Is that a sexual thing you're doing, Melvin? You gonna wash my glass?
Teaching you a lesson. Goodbye.
Bye!
As
As we head down to get Varkir.
sure. Ever tending to his horse, you find Varkir at the bottom. At the bottom.
Varkir, we're headed to the...
I know, yes.
Just making sure.
You said... You
Just-
Artemis,
told
we're
me,
going
so-
to the library.
Just making sure.
Did
Are you coming?
Well, he just talked to Artemis, so apparently Artemis is going with you instead. I guess I'll stay here.
No, I said Varkir.
Let's
Ah,
go,
okay
Artemis.
then. All right, Artemis is going with you. I'll be here tending to the horse.
No, you're coming with me.
I'll come with you later.
Let's all get on his horse.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I'd pretty much slash you if you got on my horse.
He would trim your hay. Grow. Better watch out.
Hey, grow.
Trim your hay. Grow.
I'm
Oh,
leaving.
Crow.
I'm leaving it all behind. Then I'm going to the library myself. Goodbye.
I catch up to Varkir, and we're walking.
Funky's confused, but she continues to walk towards the library.
Which happens to be the same direction that Varkir is going. Coincidentally enough.
Where's Artemis?
We've never been there. Can I ask some guards?
You may have never been there, but it's a pretty popular place. It's like if you were to look up like main attractions on like a top 10 tourist list of Orenbelle, this would be like number 5 maybe. It's called the Gleaming Library, for God's sakes. It doesn't take very long. You guys cross through the Belladonna system and over to the Corellan system, where you can see all the different sort of crystalline structures indicating the different high mages of Orenbelle and their different laboratories, as well as the different sort of like religious structures lining the the sidewalks as well. And the Gleaming Library is you can point it out really easily because at the very top of its spire, it's usually like this constant shine, this constant solar lens flare effect coming off of it. So you can find it easily enough. No need for an investigation check. Yeah, you guys make it to the large open doors, and it's almost like a cathedral in and of itself. It seems like a lot of artisan work has been put into its making. Yeah, as soon as you enter, it's pretty open, just exactly what you'd expect. Giant spires of bookcases, people sliding on ladders, like with like handful of books, like stopping in one section, putting it in, and then other people doing the same across the way. Yeah, what do you want to do?
I scream at the top of my lungs. Wow!
Do you? Huh? As soon as like the first, I don't know, like millisecond of a scream comes out of your mouth, you go wah, and then nothing comes out anymore. And walking up next to you is this robed, sort of much older figure, and he goes, "You would do well to keep your voice down in here, sir. We all understand your flabbergastery at the sight of all of this marvelous knowledge, though it is surprising coming one from,
What is that supposed to mean?
nothing."
Who are you?
Actually, you still can't talk. And then when you go, he goes, "Oh, sorry about that."
Getting slightly angry with her chat. Who are you?
My name
And
is
what do you mean by that?
Point proven. My name is Randall.
My nerd name. Nerd. Who are you in this library?
I'm just one of the many different bookkeepers and organizers in here.
Are we looking for anything in particular? I know I am.
You tell me. I can't answer that question for you.
Where are your books on world history?
World history. All along that section, and he just points in a general direction with this large, sort of like purple bookcase. Everything on that purple bookcase, you can find world history.
Vakir walks over to the bookcase and starts looking for, like, where is this? Just looking for missing pieces of information that he doesn't know, I guess, since he's been gone for so long.
Okay, roll an investigation check. You're just trying to fill in the gaps.
Yeah. The investigation check is 5. He's like, what is this writing? I don't.
Investigation check is 5. It's almost as though you're just like searching for information for your home rather than just like filling in the blanks. Like anything there through reach? Nope. Throw it over your shoulder. Anything there? Well, maybe not throw it over your shoulder, but you get the idea. And you do find out that they were telling the truth. It is 5,000.
5,143.
Exactly. 5,143. And you try and find a year that would like equate to the one that you had been in, and you're not having much luck finding. Like even looking through the dates that would be familiar to you, it's like completely different events have happened.
It's like, wow, this is strange. Do you have classes here at all?
Why, of course.
What type of classes do you have?
Oh, if you want to become a librarian, we can teach you in the best organization methods around. And if you want to be part of the religious section, holding all of our religious texts, it can be a little bit more.
No, thank you.
I like raise my hand. What? Religious texts? Where might I find those?
That's on the green bookshelf over there. And he points just opposite side of the room. Giant green bookshelf.
Do you have any books specifically on the deity of Regentia?
I myself am not familiar, but I'm sure you should be able to find some words about her over
Where is the Archmaester of this place?
Chief Librarian.
Yeah, Chief Librarian.
He's probably in his study. I could go fetch him for you if you desire.
Yes, please.
Absolutely. Well, right away.
I will be over by the green section. I think we should get to know this Chief Librarian. I think he would be a great assistance to us.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Especially to you.
Yeah.
Is anybody else looking for anything or doing anything?
I'll flip through a book of verbs.
Do you want to learn anything, or you're just passing the time?
Passing the time.
Okay. A few minutes pass, and
13. For looking for a book specifically.
oh, okay. It's a bit hard to find. You can't find anything easily that comes about or around Regentia. Yeah, a few minutes pass, and the sort of frail old man taps you on your elbow, and he says, "Excuse me, he is here. I present to you Chief Librarian Orion Finnegan." And this very much older man, but taller and sort of carrying a straighter back, and but with the help of this large, sort of like very clear staff with one red crystal at the top, a very, very long, pointed, almost like thin beard, comes down to a curl, and a bald head. He's just, "How may I help you?"
Master Librarian, I am looking for a specific text, anything on the deity of Regentia. Have you built any information or knowledge about this?
Regentia. I actually think that the only books on Regentia that we have were checked out a few days ago. Ever since Kunbara lifted the knowledge ban, I can't stop the cavalcade of everybody from the Celestial Order just coming in here and taking anything that they want. It will be hard-pressed to find books with any valuable information in here, I'm afraid.
On anything or just Regentia?
Probably anything, really.
What's the point of this place?
We house the knowledge. Kunbara is, bless her soul, in her infinite wisdom, decided to release all of the knowledge to every kind of individual in the city. She said that secrets led to our downfall, so is trying to correct it. She'll learn in time why we set those rules in place, but for now, the lack of organization is baffling to me.
You said she would learn her mistake with that? What in particular in this library could be the downfall of something? What secrets have been hidden here?
I can't.
I think you just meant in general.
In general, yeah. Thank you, Crow.
Generally,
I have a question.
I am not quite comfortable getting into it.
What books did you say the Celestial Order had taken from the library?
They seemed particularly interested in one called the Blood-Soaked Wings. It might, I believe, house information on Regentia as well. It's about celestial deities from times past.
Can you remind me who the Celestial Order is?
The Celestial Order is...
I mean, they're pretty much like the magic circle.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Randall.
Not Randall, Orion.
No.
They're like the magic circle. There's like the Orenbelle Knights, which are like the military might, and then there's a Celestial Order, which is like knowledge, magic, science. Yeah, they're the ones who, during the ceremony, like made the sky a lot more clear, like pushed the clouds out of the way, and were like lifting the area that you guys were standing on towards Kunbara. Just
Do you
think
happen to know
magic.
how long they check these books out for?
You know the academics, they'll house up for weeks, maybe months.
I feel like they should already have these books. Do you think they plan on returning them?
There used to be a tier of sort of availability for these items, and even the Celestial Circle did not make it to the top of that tier.
Is there any chance we could put in an order for a new series of these books, so that we too may obtain the knowledge?
You see, like,
Copies.
copies.
Yes, copies.
Copy.
I can see what I can do, but we would need the original first.
Do you
see the
have a
dilemma?
library card checkout system
I could.
in
Well,
place already? Because otherwise, they're probably not coming back with those books. There's no penalty.
we can look up their name in the registry who checked it out, but I am not comfortable doing that.
Of
Did
course
they-
not. Who can we talk to, Master Librarian, since you're so busy?
No, I mean, generally, as a concept, I'm not comfortable looking up private information of people who checked out.
I mean,
certain
there's no secrets anymore.
It's librarian patient confidentiality.
That's bullshit.
Can you,
You
at
know
least
who
give
we
us
are.
the titles of these books so that we may write them down and find them at a local bookstore, possibly?
You'll never find them at a local
Well, you're
bookstore.
not
luck with that.
helping.
No, I'm
Where do you
helping you
keep
not
your-
waste your time
where do you
looking at a
keep-
local bookstore.
Where do you
You're
keep
welcome.
your client record book?
You mean the thing I just told you I wasn't comfortable?
where is it?
it?
No, where is it?
I'm not even gonna have you roll a persuasion check because you're just asking. You're not like trying to be smart about it or
If
anything.
you're not comfortable, maybe, pass that along to us. We are
Who
more
is
than
comfortable, Wink?
Yeah, Randall?
I have a different question. They should know this information, the Celestial Order. Do you think there's a reason, an ulterior motive, that they would take these books?
They were banned.
Imagine being an academic and knowing that there's a wealth of knowledge beyond your reach. As soon as it becomes within your reach, would you not want to grasp it?
I just would have thought that that was part of their regular curriculum.
I'm afraid not. There are many dark secrets that, well, nobody should know on this mortal plane, to be perfectly frank.
I mean, I guess technically, yes, we would like to grasp that knowledge. That's why we're here. But since you don't have a library checkout process in place,
Here's what I can do. These texts are ancient and likely very powerful. I don't really trust you guys with them or even the
Do you know
names
who
of
we are?
those. I'm afraid I've been face deep in trying to organize this madness.
I am Herchek, Bane of Oren's Obliterate. This is Oren's Obliterate.
I think I've heard of you once.
What?
I'm going to gently grab both of his shoulders.
God.
If it were for us, you wouldn't be here right now. You're lucky that this establishment is still standing. Because
Unhand
of
me
us.
right now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll go like this
Thank
to
you.
his shoulder.
I'm gonna do an insight check on that.
Okay.
Hey!
Don't
I want to know if. Sorry, I didn't say that too.
Why are you
I'm gonna do
looking
an
at me
insight
like
check.
that?
I want to know if he's lying.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and surmise that.
Get a
You
natural
just see
20.
this yellow cone beam shoot from his eyes and go.
What's he doing?
7.
7. You can't tell. Yeah, he seems like he's got perfect, like, you're using logic. It's there's not a law preventing you from getting the book. There's a law preventing you from, like, reading private information of people who've checked out the books. Like, he's yeah, just going through the logic in your head. It's not as though he's, like, trying to be malicious or anything. He's just trying not to be in trouble.
Okay.
And he,
Well, Orion, I appreciate you sharing with us that we wouldn't find these books elsewhere. But do you think we may be able to find, well, seek out the Celestial Order and maybe let them know that we would like
There's a plan. Let's just do that.
to borrow the books after them?
We're on a mission from Queen Kunbara herself. We're friends. You should know her.
Did they seem
You're
like they
serious, you
wanted to keep
guys
these books?
Seem like an upstanding, capable bunch, I'm sure.
You don't know us.
Precisely. I would like you to do something for me, and in return, I may be able to get you the book that you're searching for.
Spit on my
Maybe
hand.
even get you the name of the person who has it.
What do you need?
A wand.
What kind of wand?
You don't need to know what kind of wand.
That's
It will not help you in your mission. Tabard Abernathy of, this one's for you, Celestial Order. He's a birth seer, defines and strengthens the connection between the birth constellation and the child that is born under it. Anyway, that's actually irrelevant. He has this wand. And the wand belongs to me. And
Truthfully,
I want it back.
truthfully, it belongs to you.
It
Yeah,
belonged to
insight
me.
check.
It belonged to you. Did you lose it in a bet, a game, any sort of way that would be deemed reasonable?
Not fairly, no. He cheated.
Do you know he cheated?
I have it on good authority. If you know Tabard, you know he cheated.
So you're just basing this off of rumors and speculation.
Educated guesses. Very educated.
What's
You
his
get me the wand, I'll get you the book.
What was his name?
Tabard Abernathy.
What does he
So-
look like? Needed details. Details there, or Oren. Orion.
He's about as old as I am. He has black hair,
Okay.
curly, and a really disgusting mustache.
Baby.
What is his position in the Celestial Order?
Birth seer.
I've seen this
That
guy.
seems like a wand that he should have.
What would you do with that wand?
I would use it. What do you mean that he should have?
What if he holds the rank of, or the position of birth seer?
This has nothing to do with birth seeing.
The wand
Why do you want to see
that
births?
helps you see birth.
God, why would anybody want that? No.
I mean, that's what
I
you're
guess
asking
I
for there,
don't
Orion.
understand.
That's weird.
Does the wand not help?
Just a one that strengthens the connection between the stars and the person, or no?
No.
What does this wand do exactly?
I just really like the design.
How did you lose this wand? In a bet?
A scandal, more like.
A bet? Did you
You
lose?
were-
On the surface,
Did you lose a
it
card?
was a bet.
Cards?
Uh,
Gambling?
Yeah.
You got a gambling problem?
We'll talk to
Orion?
Abernathy about this as well.
please do. I mean, but
We're-
not too much. Just
We're gonna get the
wand.
whole story.
I don't care how you get it, but you didn't hear it from me.
We will be bringing your name up. We will be bringing your name up to him.
No deal.
Then no wand. We're gonna take the wand.
If you could, that would be agreeable.
What did your wand look like?
Oh, you know. It's about yay big.
About a foot and a half. He goes,
It tapers at the end, standard fare. It's got sort of this gold lining in it. It's almost like small, like fireworks are going off around, spiraling around the handle. It's really cool.
It seems like it would be very helpful for his job, and only be maybe a mantle decoration for yours.
Oh no, I would get, as I did before, much use out of this wand.
What did you do?
I thought you just said it looked cool.
With my eyes. I get much use with my eyes looking at the wand.
I don't think we should help him.
Orion. This doesn't sound like an equal deal.
No, it doesn't. I think we could get the same information he would give to us.
Look, it just plays music, okay?
The wand.
Wow.
I can't
Can't you just
read
buy it?
without it.
What? Without this music?
Yes. It helps me concentrate. As you've probably seen, my thoughts are quite scattered these days.
We just met you, so we know we don't.
It's not obvious.
No, you're pretty.
Oh, thank God. Angels.
there are no technically there are no like there's no like gods or gods in this world. It's angels, and so
Oh, angel.
that's just yeah.
Oh, my lambda.
So yeah, it's he goes.
I'll be waiting here. Have my assistant call for me. What's his name again?
Randall?
Randall, yes.
I look at Randall.
call for
How's he
me.
like? Is he just like, whoa, you forgot my name for the 31st time today?
Yeah, well, Randall doesn't see him, but he's just like meh. I'm waiting for him to die.
Get out.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello there. We're just doing a D&D porn. No big deal. Yeah, look into the
You just
tube.
gotta get real. You gotta get like right next to my lips. What you got?
Stay a while and listen.
Does it complement your audiobook?
It's all words.
Gross.
You say that's a lot of words?
No, I said it's just words. For it being like a
Oh,
Blizzard
that is
book, I
kind
thought
of
there was gonna be
disappointing.
like art. Like here's
It's just words.
How can you
Even when you're an
even
adult, you want
read a
dope
textbook
ass
with
art.
no pictures?
How do you know what's happening in the pictures?
Yeah. How can you picture anything? That's stupid.
My imagination sucks. Yeah, did. We're in the middle of a battle
Only a
with
smidgen.
a master librarian.
With an old librarian
Doing
who's
very
not
important book
helping.
things right now.
I think we're all waiting for this librarian to die.
Ow.
If you want, we can close the door. There. That's weird. That would be nice.
We're not playing right now.
And
Scene.
I think that's the end of the scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Scene
he
has
goes,
gone on for
and
way
scene.
too long.
Oh.
Randall, was it?
Yes.
Please show them out. Don't forget my wand.
Don't
when you
point
come
at me.
back. I'll do what
Don't
I
point.
want.
I don't think we agreed to that.
Randall. We're gonna take Randall aside.
Farkir, I think you should talk to the Master Librarian to figure out some information.
Randall.
Goodbye.
I'm tired of
Goodbye.
listening to this man talk. I'm just going to,
I will give you 50 gold pieces if you can get us your client book. We just
He side eyes
need
toward
to find a book. It's very important.
he side eyes to Orion. He looks back at you. Make a persuasion. Ororu.
$19.
You didn't. He,
Oh,
he
wait,
didn't hand
no.
you something. He's waiting for the gold.
Oh, okay.
As he reaches his hand out like through his robes.
Show us the book, and I'll give you the gold. Half now, half later.
Half now then.
Okay, 25 gold.
With his other hand, he just pulls out this large leather-bound book with many, many different sort of scattered pages inside. And he goes, he opens it all the way to one of the last pages, and he just taps on it, and it's what's the name? And it is for Guthard the Insightful.
Guthard. Insightful. Okay. Does that have an address or anything?
No.
Oh.
But he does say that, oh, Guthard? He likes to go on walks while he reads. Chances are you'll probably find him in this very district.
What does he look like?
He's a middle-aged man, mutton chops of brown, balding on the top. Shorter, stockier.
Okay.
And we're in the Krellin district, right?
25 gold.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Thank you, Randall. And then I relay this information to her, Jay.
Thank you. You're welcome. Do I have your support when Orion passes, unfortunately, to become the new chief librarian?
Absolutely.
Fuck no, you took a bribe. How dare you?
I helped you.
For 50
I saw
you
the
took a
goodness
bri-
in
you
your
took-
soul. That's how
Oh,
keen
did
I
you?
am.
I
and-
want to do an insight check.
Okay. 8. You can't tell. He's
You're a good man.
Yeah, he got you the information that you needed, and the other guy didn't.
As long as he dies from natural causes.
You didn't have to emphasize the natural. His time is very short.
Is it a threat?
No, I didn't emphasize short like you emphasized natural.
Okay. Well then.
But if you want to take him out,
That's a couple thousand gold pieces.
it's a pleasure doing business with you.
Good day.
All right.
Well, we should then. What do you guys want to do? We could get the wand and keep the wand, maybe?
Sounds lame. A wand that plays music?
It could do
What are
other
we gonna
stuff.
do with that?
You could entertain your guests at the Thunky Beer Bot. Beer Brat.
Beer bread bot.
Still fresh name. We haven't gone there much, so.
Yeah, it's in a bad part of town.
Next to that creepy guy, right?
Yeah.
Crow, what do you say?
I don't think the wand is worth our time. I think we should just try and find
Guthard?
Guthard.
Guthard and see if we can borrow the book.
Wait,
I can ingest the knowledge very fast.
we didn't get a description.
Yes, we did.
Of Guthrie?
Mutton
He's
chops.
got brown
Old.
mutton chops, balding on top, shorter, stockier.
Did you find what you were looking for, Varkir?
I will eventually.
What does that mean?
Exactly what it sounds like. I'll find what I need eventually. If I don't find it here, I'll find it somewhere else.
What are you looking for in particular?
History?
About your people? About the clan?
No, just world history.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, history.
Okay. Is that a thing? Like, I could tell you a lot about the world. I've been where
Let's just go get your book.
Definitely for the best.
Well, I suppose. We still have to stop by your artificer. His house. Grow. We still have time.
I think we could do that later.
I guess.
All right, what are you guys up to? You're finding Guthard? Roll an investigation check. Who's looking? Who's taking point?
All of
You
us
guys splitting
are
up?
looking. So we're
If you're all looking, then you're all splitting up. If you're, I'll allow like an add advantage. One person to look. Would you roll? 4?
8.
Wait, why can't we all look together?
That's like, let's say you all come across a trap, and it's, or like a door or something. You're like, I want to try the door, and now I want to try the door, and now I want to try the door, and now I want to try the door. It's like, this is like a group check. So somebody lead the way, and then I rolled it. Like what? Yeah.
I'll lead the way.
With a 4?
8.
8.
Remy?
I'm just tagging along.
You know you're that one, right?
Yeah, well, you didn't volunteer.
I rolled.
Huh?
I rolled and I rolled higher.
Then volunteer to go first.
I'm suddenly confused. Aren't we just heading to the castle?
No, we're looking for Guthard.
But isn't he the Celestial Order at the castle?
No, he said that Guthard likes to walk while reading, and
You
he's
need to pay
probably
attention.
in this district.
You need to listen
So
to
we're just
words.
walking around the streets looking for a guy reading, and hopefully it's Guthard. Unless you want to do something else.
I just thought maybe we could catch him where he works.
We didn't get that information.
Does the Celestial Order not work in the castle?
Partially they do, but it's like they're like, they also have responsibilities throughout the city as well. So like the castle might be a good hub, but they would more than likely just direct you to another part of the city.
Yeah, no, I mean, I heard you. It just sounded a little more aimless, trying to find him walking randomly throughout the city.
It's just one district.
Well, I'm pretty fast, so maybe I can.
You also have Artemis.
Oh yes.
Barkir, could you send Artemis up in the sky to kind of act like a drone?
A drone?
Fantasy.
Yeah, like a fantasy drone.
I have no idea what a drone is.
It's like the thing that you could look through.
Does,
It's what you already do.
there's no such
Let's not
thing
get
as
hung up on the word
Yeah.
drone. Can you send Artemis in the sky and look for a man reading a book while walking around?
With brown mutton chops, balding on top, shorter, stockier.
I could. I could.
But will you?
That is the question. Will I?
Can you?
Can you please?
No more bad things. And don't talk to Artemis like like you're trying to talk to me. Just say my name when you call Artemis.
Didn't we?
Say my name.
What's going on here?
And I'll have him look. I just
I'm gonna look at the bird.
look up to Artemis.
Barkir,
Yeah, look.
I-
Can you
Don't
please
even
look
pay
it up?
attention as
soar
Varkir as a human being. anymore.
around the district and look for Guthard, the insightful.
Not exactly what I meant. See, we're going to have a problem with these people, so I'll just say it straight. when trying to talk to me through my bird, just say my name when you're looking at him. If you're trying to talk to the bird, say the bird's name. If you say the bird's name, I won't be listening. So,
Artemis, can you look for Guthert the Insightful?
Again, I will say it again. Don't say the bird's name.
I'm
if
just
you're
gonna walk
trying
over
to say
and
to
start.
me.
I'd like to just start. I'm gonna walk at a very fast pace and look for Guthard while they're doing this.
Okay. What was your original role?
Quickly.
So are you leaving the group?
Yeah.
Okay. You all see Crow just move very quickly out of the library, out of the gate, and just start taking off in a direction. About 2.5 hours pass. Is there like a time limit that you would put on yourself to come back?
I mean, a reasonable amount of time if it starts to get.
If it starts to get dark, I feel like a lot of time has passed. I can move pretty quickly, so I feel like it wouldn't take that long to find him. If this is one of the time, unless he just spends the whole day reading, then I feel like we could just head to the castle.
Yeah, about 2.5 hours pass, and
Can I be with him?
Huh?
Can I be with Crow?
if you see Crow take off and you like, I imagine he's going at top speed, which actually may match your top speed. You have 40?
Mm-hmm.
Yours is 40?
45.
You're just behind him a little bit. You'll like double check his spots as you see him like go down.
If he's walking with me, I'll just I'll
Walk
walk at
at
40.
Okay, then I'll allow one more roll at advantage.
Can I roll it again?
22.
No need.
Oh, I mean, if he rolls a natural 20.
Rewinding quite a bit.
I was trying to do this just on top of.
Alright, right. He's not looking yet.
Well, I was trying to do this in tandem to increase our rate of success.
I'm with you.
Okay, so then you guys take off, and then now it's just Thunky, Varkir, and Artemis.
I'm just waiting outside the library,
Okay.
right where we left.
Inside the library, looking books.
Okay. All right then.
You didn't even send Artemis?
No, because you guys you said you were just taking off, and everybody's like, "Oh, I'm following him." So I was like, "Oh, okay, you're all just leaving then. Bye."
Okay,
Wow.
did I find him?
Can
Did
we
I
zoom
find
in
it?
on that face during editing? That was a good face.
I was like processing. Yeah, we'll actually say that with a 22, you actually notice this stockier person, the stockier individual, sitting on the bench outside of the library. Fits the description.
Wow.
Right where we took off.
Yeah, well, like as you leave the gates of the library, along those gates, down a little bit, underneath like a fantasy streetlight equivalent, fantasy brazier. I guess that'd just be a regular brazier. Anyway, yeah, you see this guy reading this very intricate. There's like copper lining on this book with like copper corners, corner caps, and this very like deep crimson bookmark hanging out the side with a lot of different constellation sort of beads on the outside of it. And yeah, he's just sitting there, one leg crossed over the other, holding one arm, smoking a pipe.
I'd like to not approach him, but be at a reasonable distance away from him.
Same. Whatever Crow's doing, I'm doing. Gonna
I'm gonna
imitate.
find the closest corner to post up at, and then I'm gonna pull her check to the side.
Okay.
You're quite strong.
Her check.
Roll a stealth check.
Both of us?
Both of you.
Oh, fuck.
14.
14.
Yeah, as you guys crouch down, you look at Herchek's face, and he's like biting his lower lip, looking at you, and shaking his head, and you just hear,
Oh, wow.
"Can't you see that I'm reading here? Who are you?
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Going to have to read the chapter all over again."
I apologize. I had a big breakfast at the Fancy Main. Good breakfast there. Should go there and eat.
I can smell it!
It's delicious.
You're offending all of my senses. Leave me be.
I'm leaving. And I like make it sound like I'm leaving.
That's disgusting. Get out of here.
Rightly so, yes. Somebody with some sense
Yes.
around here.
Gross.
I walk away slightly.
I'm gonna
Good
start
riddance.
walking towards him. Towards
Goosey.
Gutherd.
Mr. Sensible Man, how may I help you?
That was quite disgusting. Ugh,
To that, we can both agree.
absolutely. Well, I actually was looking for you today, so I'm actually quite happy I found you. My name is Crow.
Hello, Mr. Crow. It's not every day we see a raw forged around here.
Oh, I'm glad you recognized my being.
Made almost entirely out of wood and metal, of course. Who doesn't
You'd
recognize
be surprised. Who can't tell? But you know what?
the world is
We've got more important business. Yeah, I truly admire the book that you are reading.
Yes, rightly so.
I'm-
As you should. There's great wealth of knowledge in here.
It is. It is. You know, I've actually been wanting to read it for quite some time. And
Get in line.
well, I was just wondering if I could take about 5 minutes to scan its pages, and then I'll hand it right back to you.
I suppose this is my day off.
Roll a persuasion check. I'm on the corner. I'm like looking just in case. Keep
Grotesque man, I can still smell you.
Get out of here!
I'm not even gonna respond. They don't know I'm there.
You rolled one.
I creep back away, ashamed.
You're just standing behind a very thin tree.
Skitter back to the mountains, you Neanderthal.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I walk up
You
now.
disgust us both!
No, I walk up to him now.
That
Can
is
I-
a
can-
mistake.
It's like,
Can I see this
what?
from where we're at?
I
I mean, it's a gate, right?
You
Outside
did say
the
you were sitting
library?
down. So
I said
we'll-
standing outside. Of the
Oh,
library.
so standing outside the. I thought you said you were sitting on the side. Either way, they would be in view since it's just like a gate. Yeah, you see her check, like looking from behind a building on the corner, and then just like Gutherd just look over there, yell at him, and then her check just like walks forward
I'm
aggressively. You can
running.
almost hear like the.
I'm running to her, Jack.
Okay.
Do I make it to him?
I'm gonna start motioning like discreetly as possible, like out of the way, like with my hand as like a stop motion, like don't fuck this up, don't fuck this up.
Yes,
my
Grayskin.
my yellow eyes are gonna glow brighter, like a yield.
I'm just. That was offensive. And I just walk away. I walk to Thunky. And as I'm walking away, I just go, fucking nerd.
Quite mature individual there. I was sure my life was at stake.
I assure you, they are rude, but
Oh, to
Sure,
that
you're
there
fine.
is no doubt.
Do I hear that?
I'd like to look at the book and just like quickly glance to see how far he is through it.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take you much. He's like 65% the way through. But the rate at which he's turning pages still during conversation is pretty like he would have finished it already, or he's just skimming it. Like, sorry, he at the pace he's going, he would finish it like within the next maybe hour or so.
Okay.
Alright.
What'd you roll for your persuasion?
1.
I'm afraid I can't quite be separated. You see, I'm at a good part. Not to mention, I've still got to study this text a little bit more. And should this fall into the wrong hands, who knows? So far, I don't know what kind of hands yours are.
You are a seeker of knowledge, are you not? I am the newest member of Oren's Obliterate. Have you heard of us?
You don't say.
I do.
I've heard of you, yes. Rascallions scampering around. If it were up to me, I'd put a leash on you. You just think you can do whatever you want. Walk up to individuals reading, ask for their books. I see how you get things done now. It's an effective method, I suppose. Not in this case.
You sure do a way of making normal things sound quite dramatic. But,
Oh, that look.
But you know what? I'm actually quite bad at being persuasive. So it did look as though you were making good headway on that book. May I ask if you intended on returning it when you were done reading it? We do have patience, and we don't mind waiting.
I did plan on studying it a bit more. There's more than meets the immediate eye when it comes to this book. Do you have, say, a month to wait?
No. We believe that this will help us find out more information about Regentia, which I am still trying to get up to speed, but I believe it is of great importance.
Regentia, Satyun, Ralagad, all of them. This book has quite a wealth of knowledge on all of the stars. All of the dormant and forbidden ones, that is. But what use could you make of it? You don't have academic souls, it seems.
I'm not near there.
You look like you were made. Perhaps your master had an academic soul, but you, I answer to no one's fetching thing.
Well, I am still trying to discover my purpose in this world, and personally, this, I think, may help out quite a bit, but my group may have greater intentions for this knowledge. That is a bit more private, though, than I care to talk about.
Look, this is going to be in my possession for the next while. You'll just have to keep checking back in the library. Now leave me alone.
What will it take to scan that book for just 5 minutes of your time? Certainly something is
You see, I'm
of
looking
value
for
to
a
you?
wand.
I was gonna say, God damn.
It comes full circle.
Who is your master?
Humentus.
I don't appreciate liars.
Humentus.
What you're telling is true. You must have access to many of his ingenious creations, excluding yourself, of course.
Why, thank
Well,
you.
maybe that's not off the table just yet, is it?
Is what?
You, boy.
I'm afraid I'm not available.
Just assume his gender.
Then perhaps you could get me one of Quintus's inventions, one of his masterpieces, one of his, something that he would be proud of.
No, Ross already stole all those.
You want me to give you one of my master's masterpieces for 10 minutes of your time? in the time
If it
that I've been
doesn't sound
talking
like
to
a
you.
fair trade, then I suppose we're done here. If it sounds too difficult for a living being to get something of a deceased master, then I suppose it's out of our hands, isn't it?
I'm gonna, like, wave at Grove, just be like,
Is there anything else that I might be able to bargain with?
I'm afraid that's it.
Okay, then I guess we will just have to wait then. Good day. I'm gonna walk away.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk towards Herchek and Thunky.
Okay.
And I'm gonna motion for them to follow me in the opposite direction of this guy.
Okay.
Were you successful?
Let's meet up with Bark here. Wait, is it? Are you
Barkier's in the library.
The library?
In the library, just looking for books still. Just any book on wizardry and just intelligence. That's it.
Sounds great. Okay then. So, this is actually something I'm quite excited for.
What?
we get to kill
Master
him.
Cumentus would occasionally send me on errands to,
Murder?
no, of course not.
It murder, though.
And you see, what?
We're gonna kill him.
No. But I will follow him and attempt to, take the book,
Sleight of hand.
unbeknownst to him.
And then we kill him.
That's stealing.
Only for 5 minutes. Also, you're not here.
He's right next to us.
He said you walked over to me, so.
No, you said you're in the library.
Yeah,
Looking
okay, then
for
I'll just be in the library then. he does not approve of stealing, so if you come back to him, just don't mention it to him, because he'll definitely say no.
Is
Very angry.
Artemis with us?
No, Artemis is with me.
Well, we will be borrowing. So yeah.
Technically stealing.
What do you guys think?
I think we should kill him.
I don't think we should kill him.
He doesn't need to
He
die.
He seems like an intellectual who.
We've
I
left
mean,
a. If anybody were to investigate this, they'd see that we went to the library looking for this book. That guy gave us
Yeah.
the name of
It's too long of a trail.
whatever the hell his name is.
We can't kill him. It would all lead back to us way too quickly.
But we could just kill whoever came after us.
Have a
Next time.
point.
There's
Next.
you notice a guy maybe a few feet from you opening his mailbox. And
No!
he's just-
No!
Does he look over? Another mailbox guy?
Just kidding. He quickly closes in, runs into his.
That's where you better run!
Closes his
It's the
curtain.
same guy from before.
Does anybody have anything to distract him? I believe that I could probably steal it.
Go fart.
Borrow it
I'll just
right
go
out of
fart
his-
right next to him.
Oh,
That would probably work.
yes.
Are you very good at stealing things?
Can I look
Do
for
you
any
have
maps?
fast hands?
Sure.
Like the region, like the power, like who owns what part of what region, like the lines, I guess, for kingdoms, pretty much.
Roll investigation check.
You got the Clover Kingdom. You got the Diamond Kingdom. Oh wow. Nice.
Investigation.
Mhm.
So that's 18.
Oh, 18. Yeah, it's easy enough. They're not super rare to find. It is of the current ruling systems, and I will get into that a little bit later with you, unless you want me to break down. The...
No, I can do it later. He's just gonna be looking at looking at it for right now, just like studying it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so I'll fart in him.
I'll cast Druidcraft
With
onto your fart so that it smells way worse.
Just cast it onto my sword.
Kill rotting vegetables. Have you ever smelled that?
I think a couple times that year old flies.
Unassociated with us, though, right? It was our neighbors or something.
Yeah.
Sure. Anyway.
We need a distraction to take about 5 minutes. Doesn't need to, but that's
I'll get them all riled up.
okay.
But
And then I'll
but
scan the book and I'll put it right back.
it will take
Perfect.
all of my will not to hurt this person if he starts coming at me with words.
Just think of how he'll be choking on the scent of your fart.
Alright, I will do that.
When would you like to do this? Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. I'm walking over.
Okay. It's at this point it's still only about, like, just to give you guys a frame of reference, noon. Still very early in the day. He's just sitting on his bench.
I'm gonna sit on the bench right next to him.
You just walk up and sit on the bench right next to him?
Yep.
But before you even get to the point at which you walk up to the bench, he goes, "By God, it wasn't a fart, it's just the way you smell, isn't it?
No.
I thought we were done here, I'm
fart.
sure."
I cast Druid
Mid his sentence. Just
Get him with his mouth
I'm laying
open.
down some thick ones.
I'm gonna stealth.
Oh, roll a stealth check.
21. Or 22.
Every time he talks, just
Well, first of all, roll a
the fart.
Constitution saving throw. The lower you get, the more successful you'll be at farting.
At advantage because of my Druid card?
At advantage, yes. I mean, I guess disadvantage.
Yeah. It's gonna be 10.
A 10. Okay. Well, I'll say you get 4 farts that you can get out of there, get out of the chamber, and you've already used one in the opening.
Oh
sequence.
boy.
Have I done something to you, Grey Skin? I think that this is a bit rude.
I'm gonna go in.
Is there a point to this? Is there some Are you with that crow character?
Who?
What'd you say you were doing?
Trying to be all sneaky and like crouch up to him from behind.
Okay, you've got one more fart left. You successfully are going on the other side of the fence, I will say, and there is enough room to sort of get your hand in between the paneling of the fence.
I would like to walk across the street opposite of this guy on the bench and be prepared to make a scene just in case he needs more time.
Okay. I will say at this very moment there is like a sorcerer and his female companion walking down the street as well, just passing this altercation, and the sorcerer just like puts his arm up to his mouth and goes,
Oh my God! What is going on over here? The Gleaming Library is such a place for putrid acts these days. Oh,
and he just like keeps, come on, baby cakes. And he, Guthard goes,
that wasn't me. It was this oaf over
Yeah, this
here.
guy smells really bad. Sorry, I'll apologize for him. He's very rude.
I'd like to go for the book.
okay, go ahead and roll sleight of hand.
26.
Keep it in.
Actually, sorry, the book is in his hands. So at this point, yeah, he's just like furious with you. And he casts you can start to see him sort of like pull his like one hand out and start casting things and tracing different sigils in the air.
I grab
He
his
goes,
hand.
And as you reach for it, go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw.
6.
Your intelligence is reduced to 1.
Oh my god.
Alright, doesn't really affect me.
As you reach forward, you just have this like almost like a primal hatred towards this individual, but drool starts to come down your mouth.
I lose all my
a little
bowels.
bit. Hold on, let me.
I'd like to prepare a reaction.
And as he,
Hold it.
after he casts that, he just starts laughing. Now get out of here and let me get back to my Where did it go? What did you do? What did you do? Where is my book?
I'm scanning the book.
I'm gonna be across the street and I'm gonna be like, what is that smell? Oh, I think I'm gonna die.
You there! Did you see what happened to my book?
No, I've just been walking along and a smell hit me. I think I'm gonna throw up. Was it you who did that smell?
He does reverse things, blows them again, puts his hand on your shoulder, and your, what counts for intelligent thought for her check floods back in. And these sort of like garbled, like, comes into, he's like, where is my book? Where is it? What did you do with it?
I fart and walk away.
Still the same.
Guards! Guards! Are you doing anything?
I'm gonna apprehend the guards. Like, go up to them.
And there is one just runs out of the gleaming library, silver and blue armor, trotting down, pretty low level in the guard system, and he sees you walking away, and he goes, "Herchek, sir, is something amiss? What's going on?"
That guy has a horrible smell.
He is the offender.
Horrible
here.
smell coming from that man. It is atrocious to this area. I want him removed.
I second this guard. Do you smell that smell?
Roll
It's
a persuasion
sickening.
check.
At advantage?
Actually, yeah, at advantage, because
11.
11. I'm sorry, Herchek, sir. Guthard's the one who's making the call here. He called me out, and he's telling me that you took a book of his.
Search
sir?
me. I start stripping off all of my clothes. All of it.
You don't have much. You don't have to do that, Herchek.
Search me. You wanna not trust me?
No, look, I say you hold him and that creature over there until we find my
Creature?
book. It
That is a
great-
dwarf. You racist one more time. That's all you get.
We'll say that you have like 30 more seconds until you've scanned most of this book. I
talked to this guy has been racially throwing out slurs the whole time. I've had a bad gas day, I'll admit.
I just want everybody to stay still. I trust you.
I'm standing still.
You there, Thunky, I'm sorry to do this to you as well, but you guys are sort of infamous for these antics, okay?
What
We're just going to
antics?
stay right where we are
theft.
until we find this book. Thunky,
That's fine with me.
let me see your pack, Thunky.
I hand over my pack. And I take a
Hand
long
over my
time
pack,
to unbuckle the
not
things.
Pinky's pocket. I hand over my
I
pack.
do
though.
unbuckle them, but I'm just slow at it.
You as the guard is checking Thunky's bag, and Herchek is by them as well, like the guard is dealing with them. Guthard is like feverishly still looking, and he's like now just starting to turn to face the opposite direction, where to look through the fence, like maybe it was something on the other side. And you finish the very last word. Roll a sleight of hand check.
Can I start to gag? Like, gagging on the smell?
Wow.
As you see this, you freak out a little bit, like something short circuits in your system, and your arm just throws the book forward, and it slaps up against the fence and slides down. And Guthard turns
close.
even faster because of that and goes, "It's him! He did it! Oren's Obliterate are thieves! Guards, seize them immediately!" And the guard goes, I'm sorry, sir. The proof is right here. Your newest member, you might want to rein in. Put your hands out.
I
Gonna have to
can't
take you in.
believe he did that. We will take care of this between ourselves. We will take him straight to the queen, Kunbara, to be punished.
Roll a persuasion.
We tried to deal with this as civilized people. Beings.
I don't want a word out of you.
Natural 20.
Ring the bell.
I feel like it's only right that I respect what your
I'll take him. I'll take
Gems.
Crow. Like I'll bear hug him. Like I got him.
We asked politely.
as Herchek is just taking you away, and he's like, "Oh yes, I think it's only fair that I respect your gems this once. It's like you get one free, because it means something. You guys save this city, and I'll save you. For as far as I'm concerned with squaresies." And Guthard is like, "You can't operate outside of the law." And
I will
he
let
just
Bobby
goes,
know.
"Just get out of here right now, sir. They are on
We're walking
friendly
away.
terms
We're
with
walking
Queen
away.
Kunbara,
Not
and
listening.
you."
I give him a hand. I'm like gonna handshake, but there's a gold piece in my hand to the guard. Thank you.
My pleasure. Now just get out of here. I'll hold him off.
You see just
With
almost like
Crow.
you see almost like as you guys are running away, like fireworks from the guy trying to like cast spells at you, and the guard is just like holding him off, like, "Sir, no, you can't do that. Nope, now you're out of line, sir." Okay. Now that is
We
through,
did it.
We got a buck.
Well, we scanned it.
and that means you pretty much know all the contents in it.
I think it's like copying and pasting, but I haven't yet
Oh, I see. You haven't
read
like
it.
deciphered or like actually understood it yet. You just have the words.
Is that a feat
Okay.
that you have?
Made it up. It's Artemis or
You just made that up.
And
that's
you
a
guys talk to
Humantus
him later,
special.
and he's knows
He made
nothing.
it all up. He just held the book and went like
Yeah.
this, hoping that
I
he
think
was
I can. I
scanning.
think I can.
got
I think
it.
I can.
Oh my god.
I feel like a Warforged might have that ability, but at the same time, I feel like we might be too lenient in thinking that Warforged are just straight up robots.
I mean, in your intro, you said this was a home-brewed, house infested.
Yeah,
rules.
Making
My
it up as
thinking
we
was
go. I mean, yeah,
Humantus used
true.
me to like take in a lot of literature and essentially be his like his
Just
ebook
come
reader.
up with backstory explanations for anything you guys want on the fly, and we'll work it in. No problem.
So I beat a fire giant. I made him into his belt. Now I'm.
I
Go to
can
the
also
bathroom.
fly.
Gan's gotta go to bed.
I have wings.
Actually, okay. At that point, we'll take a break here. We will see you guys back in an instant amount of time for you. Be a little bit longer for us. Take care, everybody. Why? Welcome back, SASANs. When we last left off, a portion of Oren's Obliterate had maybe successfully scanned an ancient text on some lost deities. And Varkir had still been acquiring knowledge in the Gleaming Library. All right, what are you guys doing? What are you up to? What's up?
Well, what did the book say?
Yeah, how do you want me to do this?
I will
Should we-
say you.
Let's head back to the library.
Yeah. You,
Can I
Sneakily, in the back way, through the back.
I've only scanned the information. Maybe I can transcribe it on an empty book.
Library.
That'll take like a full night to do.
Okay.
We'll do it later tonight.
Do you have the ability to project it through your eyeballs onto a blank white screen?
No, I believe I need a feature for that.
Okay. Thought I'd ask just in case.
No, we're not that homebrew.
I don't know what that means. Should we grab Varkir and head to Cumantus's house? I mean, what else do we have to do?
I was planning on heading to Varkir's after our training exercise.
You mean Cumentus?
No, sorry. Yes.
I mean, we could go get that wand. It could help us later down the road to have the Master Librarian as our friend.
You mean
He's
the
gonna
wand
die.
that...
Like any day.
Then we can give the wand to Renal.
Randall?
Randall.
Don't you think that our...
Can I... No, it's okay.
Don't you think that that interaction was bad enough?
With the Master Librarian? Why? He gave us a task and
But-
to get information. I think
We already have the book.
we don't have.
You guys do still have Ponovan to check in with if you wanted to. He has like active knowledge in his brain about the certain constellations, and because Le Chantier is like one of the pretty much patron angels of Orenbelle, and they are the ones who almost create and guide all of the knowledge that the stars represent, and he is like the head. He's just the head of the Le Chantier's temple, so he'd be able to give you more information on the lighty lights that you saw in Koltessa's wake. And then there's also your glass thing that you should be able to pick up tomorrow.
I don't know that.
Thunky, didn't you tell her check?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind then. 2 weeks
I
from now.
figured that shop owner would call him when it's ready. Is that not a thing?
Yeah, he's got my number.
I mean, telekinesis. Send a message
Hold on.
via letter.
Answer it on my Razor flip phone.
He'll send a letter to him at the fancy name when it's ready.
An assumption of how the world works, but
is that not how things work?
not quite. Not unless it was requested. Like if it was, that's like it would cost more gold to add that addition.
Okay. Well then, do I know that it's gonna be ready tomorrow?
I mean,
would know
you
that.
through the fear that
Okay.
you saw in his eyes,
I'll
you
go pick it
are
up
kind
tomorrow.
of confident. Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, you guys can literally just fast forward time if you want to. Like, we're just going to like whatever you say you want to do as activities throughout the next 2 days. You can do
I pick up the glass
if
things.
if you want to go straight to the training.
Crows, anything you want to do?
Why don't we head to, I forget his name.
Cumentus?
La Chantier's temple.
What was the name of the guy we were looking at after?
Pepe Le Pew? I don't know. La Chantier.
Ponovan.
Ponovan. I remember we should head over to talk to Ponovan.
And similar to the Gleaming Library, it's what marks Le Chantier's temple are two giant, sort of like interweaving crystals that meet maybe like 3 stories up and start spiraling together to create one tip with this like super huge, shining, multi-pointed star.
Wait, are we there now?
It's honestly like a 10-minute walk from the
I'm gonna
Gleaming
go in.
Library.
Yeah, we should get
Yeah.
back here.
I go in the library and
You
find
would
Varkir.
you might know that Varkir would probably not want any business in a temple.
just gonna. We should.
Yeah, no, we should know that.
Yeah, we would know that, but I'm gonna be like, Varkir. Hey,
Yes.
hey, we're going to La Chantier's temple. Just heads up. Are you gonna be
We'll
here?
tell him you said hi.
Are we
I'll-
gonna meet you back at the fancy man?
I'll be here, or
We'll say a prayer
I'll
for
be
you.
here. Don't say a prayer for me
Say
at
a
all.
prayer.
I will never say
I'll
a
light a
prayer.
candle at
Maybe
the
for old
temple.
Varkir.
No. Have fun with your,
Do you need any help? Do you
imaginary
want to find
friend
your
in the
books? I'm
sky.
really good at finding books.
I'm fine, thank you.
You sure?
I will find the books I need. I already have the one I need right here.
What is it?
It's a map. He's just looking over it. You can go to your building of significance, I guess.
Alright, well, I guess we'll meet you back at the Fancy Man then.
Very well.
Okay. Do you want to bring Artemis with us?
You'd be further away than I can hear him, so.
That's true.
Good
Alright then.
luck.
Alright, high
Can-
five. Misses. Alright. He leaves.
Successful interaction.
Leaves me hanging.
Wow.
Go. All right.
Can you see through Artemis's eyes when you want to?
Yeah, but like I said before, it's only like 100 feet or something like that. I can see through it. Like he's 100 feet away.
So every single sort of like command that
like
you can do with
everything
it
I
is-
do, he has to be within like 100 feet of me.
But can you tell it like, hey, go check out this thing a mile away and then come back?
Yeah, I can say that stuff
Okay.
like that, but I mean,
And you wouldn't be able to see through its vision. a
I
mile
wouldn't be
away.
able to see through his vision or hear it or anything. I would just be like, hey, you're over there. I have no idea what you're doing.
Okay.
You could be getting attacked. You could be whatever.
All right. Okay, so you guys make your way to join back up and head over to the temple to Lishantia. Pretty standard fare. It's exactly what you'd expect. Rows upon rows of seats leading in. Though this chamber or this temple, the ceiling has different sort of viewing holes, viewing ports that, whereas it's daytime now, when you're walking in, it shows the nighttime sky and sort of focuses in on certain constellations and shows them perfectly. So it's like clearing away the light filter, if that makes sense. Does it not make sense? So imagine you're looking up at the ceiling, and on the left side there's like a circular window. Circular windows lining the ceiling on the left, circular windows lining the ceiling on the right. And if you look through each of these windows, you're looking into the night sky. And each window you can see is sort of focused on a specific constellation, though you don't. Well, you might recognize it with some of the knowledge that you've built up. But yeah. And as you guys are walking in, you can hear some sort of like hymns, some like soft, high pitch, like.
Are there multiple deities at this place?
Remember, Lishantier is the sort of like the angel that collects and guides the knowledge of the stars. So it just means that Lishantier, her or himself, has knowledge of like every other deity that is represented in the night sky. And if anything changes, it's sort of like the angel that you'd have to go through, or that would be responsible for that change. So theoretically, Kunbara creating a constellation for her father, a new constellation in the night sky, was like a blessing of Lishantier, or had the blessing of Lishantier.
Okay. So would there be like stained glass images of all these angels, or just their constellations?
So when you look towards actually roll a perception check, although I think it'd be pretty obvious. You won't have to roll too high.
9.
Lining up laterally with the viewports is a stained glass representation. Picture Peter Moorbacher's artwork in stained glass form. And so you would guess that the viewport is gazing at Peter Moorbacher. That the viewport is gazing at these different deities. And you can see that like some of the stained glass is actually in the middle of a shifting transition between one deity to the next. So they're not constantly affixed to one singular deity. Very intricate.
Yeah. Wow. If I see Regentia, I'm gonna just pop off to the side and say a little prayer.
And yeah, you guys hear hymns come from a chorus, like one in every corner that's just amplifying it into the entirety of the room. And then okay. And so you there is a silken white robed dark skin bald individual, maybe late 20s, early 30s, who's sort of reading a sermon in the front to a few individuals sitting in different chairs throughout this temple.
Is there a holy water station?
No, not. This isn't like a very traditional church. It doesn't have, yeah.
Is there a holy water fountain?
Yeah. Holy water, holy water slip and slide.
Are they wearing name tags?
Why?
No, they're not. They're not wearing name tags.
Maybe we could find.
I walk over to this person.
The dark-skinned individual?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, how may I help you?
I am Herchek. Bane. How's it going?
Hello, I'm Ponovin. Some people used to call me Pal.
Pal.
That is a good name.
We are actually looking for you. Queen
Come to the right
Kunbara
place.
has given us information to seek out you and a couple of other people. We just came from the Gleaming Library, seeking information about a deity, Regensha, and she said you would know something about it.
I know something about most deities, really. You look like you were going to say something. Never mind.
No.
I wasn't there. Can't say it.
You were next to me.
You all are a part of Oren's Obliterate, yes?
Yes. Glad you know of us. Makes things a lot easier.
Chasing Koltessa?
Yes, if you have also information about her, that'd be also fantastic.
Only speculation. The stars speak to me.
What do they have said?
This is a conversation that we should. And he closes his book and sort of dismisses, pretty much sorry, everyone, we're going to end this a little bit early. Got urgent business to attend to. Make sure that you follow all of our teachings and come to me whenever you need anything. Toodaloo. May the stars guide you. And he guides you guys back to one of sort of the back rooms, what might be sort of his personal office or chamber. And he shuts you all follow him in?
Yep.
Yes.
As long as he doesn't try to judge me.
Trying to judge you?
Touch him.
Both.
Okay. All right.
I'm not good at singing.
He goes, first I can answer your questions, and then maybe I can even help you on a bit broader.
Well, we can come back to Regensha. Koltessa takes precedence over anything.
Yes, well, through our star seers, we've gleaned that Koltessa was after Sartune, who, as far as angels are considered, was supposed to bring about a change, the apocalypse, really. Upon his awakening, he would unseal the others, and they would bring about the great change. As far as we can tell, Koltessa shared some of this celestial blood with the fallen of these others.
Yeah, that happened.
As from what we know, we think that she might be trying to unseal them.
The deities?
Yes.
Are there locations in which these deities have been sealed? Ancient prisons?
That I do not know. There was a time about 5,000 years ago where the Divinus Signum happened. Really the sealing of all of these fallen angels. Divinus Signum. Yes, we theorize that she may be after the Fallen herself. Why, we don't know.
But no exact location of where she might be? Do you know if she had a heading? Where the first one would be? Which one would be the easiest to unlock?
I only know of the deities themselves, not the locations in which they dwelled on this planet. It was quite scattered.
Do you have a master? You seem quite young.
I am the master.
Who taught you?
My deceased master, ECL.
It's a good name.
Filled with
Wait,
good names.
her chick would know.
No, you wouldn't. You're in
I
a
wouldn't.
different universe.
Whatever. I look off to the side.
Sense of deja vu.
Yeah.
You've had dealings with Koltessa. You haven't gotten any hints or clues as to where some of these fallen might be yourself?
I did see a bunch of constellations. There we go. Constellations light up after her disappearance.
Do you remember which ones? And I would like to remind you that you got a natural 20, so you remember exactly which ones.
Pull out my notebook. Pinky, the notebook.
Oh yeah, did you scribble it? You did scribble them down.
I did.
You hear and feel the bag quickly like
you didn't give me the
unseal and like
you didn't give me the constellations. You just gave me locations.
Yes, but you I thought drew them, or you like. So you just wrote down a direction of the sky
as
that
a
you saw.
person. Yeah, I would have wrote it down, but as her chick, I would have wrote down the constellations.
I do remember. First of all, you did get a natural 20, and I do remember you saying that you wanted to write it down. And I don't think it would make sense to be like left, a little less left.
I mean, hey, there's a couple. I can go back.
But then
a couple
again, you are
pages and
a
go
Goliath
over
barbarian,
to
so
some
maybe
of
I'm
my
giving
my
way
visions.
too much credit.
I can go to my visions here and look at stuff.
How about this? And he pulls out. He actually dims the lights in his room, and overhead, the constellation, like the ceiling, lights up as though it were the night sky. But it's clearly just like almost like a mechanical / magical representation of it.
I just that in there. There were 4, right?
Yes.
5.
There were 4 that you could sort of clearly see, and then there was one that was like that I think Varkir had to point out to you.
Yeah, that was the one that was brighter for him.
I see. Yes. The one just over Shattered Peaks. Calithin Ralvos. Angel of the Mountain. Incredibly powerful.
I think I met him.
Well, that's impossible. He's been sealed for, at least as the legends say.
No. I really look at him dead seriously. I defeated him. He has arisen.
Well, then we have our work cut out for us, don't we?
And I tell him everything about the Shatter Peaks of what me and Iso went through.
So that's how they're sealing them then. Interesting. Over the a little bit northern of the mountains, of the Gragnar Mountains, that one's a bit more tricky. Not exactly a proven deity. We have very little writings on him, if any at all. That is his name is Moriandau. And he really has, his domain is in between life and death, really. It's not the transitioning, but more so the dream state,
Limbo.
to put it bluntly.
I don't want to play that right now. Thank you though.
To the south, all I know is that is the Angel of War. Don't know the name.
Would I know the name?
Would you? No, you would know the name. This is like, there was a time where most of this knowledge was lost. I believe purposefully, from higher beings. They wished it erased. And then to the east, that is the Angel of Dust. Also, name is forgotten. As they are aware that, as the demon kind, names give you power, at least a modicum of power over the owned deity.
And when you say south and east, do these deities have
Continents far away from our own. Yes. These, to my knowledge, I only really have knowledge of the sky and the deities it represents. The history is a bit more tricky. As I've said, a lot of it's been erased or purposefully missed or rewritten. You'll have to find that on your own.
And anything for Barthar's Reach?
Ah!
Our companion saw this one the brightest.
That one actually isn't in any of our constellations. Unrecognizable and quite intriguing. I feel like you might have misseen something.
I'll take that as not as a insult, but okay.
I mean none. I mean none.
Could that have been a new one that just came to be?
Such things are unheard of, and Lachantier's whispers would have unveiled such.
Well, Koltessa did consume some of the Angel Pontier's. What was it? Sabaton. Satun's essence or power. Could she have ascended and gained herself a constellation?
Quite possibly. We think that Satun held such immense power that Koltessa has to be trying to find out a way to really deal with it, harness it, master it. If she is in fact immortal.
Well, thank you for that information. I think we should. I look at them and I think Barthar's Reach should be our first stop.
There is something that is a little bit amiss here outside of your mystery constellation, and the deities that you've named, there should be one more, Raligad. Though again, the histories are a little bit mixed matched about what his actual role back then was. And these fallen are nothing to be trifled with, I assure you that much.
6 deities. Impressive. And what of Regentia?
Regentia, well, that's where the mix match comes in, because her and Ralligad, their constellations have somewhat fused over the years.
Good or bad?
Can't tell just yet.
I've been getting visions from her. Guidance.
Listen to them, but also have your friends watch you. And just make sure that you place your trust in them to be able to guide you if her whispers lead you astray.
Well, thank you, pal. May I call you pal?
Of course. May I call you
won't.
Jackie?
Nope.
Oh.
Ponovan it is. Like that name better anyways.
Yeah, and he said, what do you plan to do when you... Well, I guess, yeah, what do you plan to do now? I'm sorry, I'm a bit interested.
As in, where were we going?
I mean, you're the ones charged with finding Koltessa.
I look at Tungi and Crow. Where? Balathor's Reach. Seems to be a new constellation. And what we know of Koltessa, it only makes sense.
But would Barkir be willing to join us?
It's his... Yeah.
I don't think actually anybody... Barkir, correct me if I'm wrong, but would anybody know about Barathor's Reach at this point?
I haven't really told anybody about it, I guess. I mean...
Yeah, you would just know that he is the one who saw that constellation and pointed it out. But yeah, as a location, you guys don't know. It doesn't sound familiar to you. You only know the location that the constellation that Varkir pointed towards, where the constellation was.
Then, Varkir pointed that constellation out in specific, so maybe we can gain information from him.
You might be right. I do believe that is probably our best guess. Or
Yes.
our best.
And with the formation of a unknown constellation, then it can only mean bad news. In my eyes.
Surely it could mean a number of things, but I do believe we should head in that direction to find out more.
Then shall we go back to Fancy Main, ponder, wait for the training? The guards.
Yes. Well, maybe tomorrow we can finally go to Cumentus's. You seem antsy, eager to head in that direction.
No, not
So,
really. I just wanted you to
I don't want to
be
hold you.
reunited with your master, who's
Especially
probably alive.
Shared interest.
And the building that's totally there. That I had nothing to do with.
And all of Cumentus's masterpieces there.
Just note that you all... Oren's Obliterate, it's been an honor. You always have an ally in me. Back when ECO was still around, we were a pretty good group of adventurers ourselves. So, I'm capable.
You do look it. Very much so.
Kind of shining. What
Your master would be proud.
What deity do you follow, if I might ask?
Le Chantier is my true and only guiding light now.
Well,
Are there
we
any
should be going.
real quick? Are there any temples or buildings of Regentia that I might go to?
None that you'll find in this city. Capilico might have what you're looking for, as they are known to worship all kinds of deities in the most grandiose of ways.
Well, all right then. Thank you, Ponovan.
My pleasure.
So, Master Ponovan, just Ponovan.
Master.
Padre.
If you're okay saying Master Pornovin,
No,
you said it.
no one's my master.
Please.
Okay.
Thank you. Alright then, Tootaloo. Deep stuff we're dealing in now. look forward to seeing what you turn up.
Do
And
you
I'll
think-
keep my ear to the stars.
Do you think maybe you could join us if we were to?
I don't think Paladin needs to come with us.
But
No.
He seems very well received.
He
is
he,
a
he, he goes over
pastor.
to his closet and he opens it up, and you see this what looks like almost a saddle, but like for a human with like stirrups in it. And he just like brushes his fingertips on it.
Is there a crossbow?
You see like the edge of a crossbow sticking out from the other side of the
He-
door.
He had like golden armor last time we were.
Different DM.
Oh
okay?
yeah, that is true.
He had ascended to some sort of god nature, but he says maybe I've got important work to do here, but if you truly need another hand, I may just have to dust this off after all. And he sort of like he looks at you, her check, and he's kind of like sizing.
You're not
you
putting
know?
the saddle on me. You're a grown
Oh,
man.
I don't know what you're talking about. And he shuts it.
You're a grown man. All right. I give him a little bow and I leave.
You say pow.
I said bow.
Pow.
Oh boy.
My hands going towards
Pow.
the conqueror.
Sorry.
Pow hasn't changed.
All right. Okay. So, with a very sentimental and longing goodbye.
No.
You guys, do you regroup with Varkir, or what are you up to now?
Yeah, I think we should head to the fancy man.
Okay.
I told him to meet us there.
Okay. Probably about like midday at this point. If you guys are all at the fancy main. Yeah. What are you up to here? Strategizing. You will say you all. I don't know if Varkir would. Where are you at, Varkir?
I guess I'm going back to the fancy main.
Okay.
So is it late or is it like still early?
It's like midday. Maybe like 3-4.
How long have they been doing their thing? Like maybe 3 hours or
Yeah,
12
about
hours? Yeah, then I'd be done reading and I'd probably check out some of the books, like either the map book. I'd probably check that out.
Okay.
Bring it with me. Yeah.
Okay. It'll be like under a silver. Just like take a silver out and you can keep it
Pricey.
pretty much as long as you want. Because I don't think any of you have copper, so I think it's just easier to take a silver. If you do have copper, then do 5 copper.
1 silver out. I'm taking this book
Can you
for a
produce
while.
change?
You can also just buy the map if that's what you want. But if you want like an encyclopedia map, anyway, well,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll just give him the silver and take the book with me and just be like, all right, I'll bring this back when I'm ready.
Okay. All right, you guys all meet at the fancy main. It's the sun is a little bit. It's just about to go into sunset mode. Yeah. What's up? What's up here?
I inform Barkir of our findings. Just of the Barthor's Reach one. Because I know he wouldn't care about the other things.
Constellations, but my clan has always been in the service of these beings. I would have hoped they would have gotten out of the service by now, but of course.
Something that intrigues you, Varkir, is that he describes Barathor as being in the vein of a fallen, of an angel that has turned against their ways. And from what you know, that is not true.
Well then, that's very, very interesting, actually. I'll have to study more up on this once we get there. Ask around a bit, because I don't believe that to be true. I mean,
Do you think something might have happened to change that?
I can't imagine anything changing my clan too, unless it's something very drastic. So we shall see. We shall see.
Would
All
you
in
like?
due time. The scientific method is our friend.
Well, I have it on good intention, real good intention.
Intentions.
Yeah, intentions. That Koltessa might be there. So would you?
Well, she
authority?
did.
Yeah,
she
good-
did.
good
she
author
did have the
intentions.
proper, trimmings and look to be of one of such stature. So maybe.
Is there anything there of interest to you? Family?
Everybody.
Everybody? Everybody's interested.
They have to be. They are my family. They're where I came from. I must see how they are doing.
Then after this whole guard training, we should go there. Yeah. Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
been ready to go
Okay.
to my home.
Okay.
Do not know how I will be received though,
What do you mean?
since you claim it's 5,143. So
Do you think your clan's still
been
in
gone
power?
for a little. Yes, I've been gone for a little while though.
That's bold of you to think, Varkir. 5,000 years and your family's still in power?
I'm sure they still remember you.
Asmar don't live that long.
But your memories last
We have
forever.
songs and
last
deeds
as long
and-
as your corpse,
Hmm.
or as long as your living body.
Well, I guess what are we doing for these guards? For the training of the guards in one day.
Aren't they the one that's coming up with the combat scenario?
I mean, what are we gonna do? Are we?
I do think that we need to practice beforehand, so maybe that's what we should do tomorrow. We'll go to Humentus's and then practice some combat scenarios ourselves. Maybe we can surprise the guards.
I can't write that well, but we should inform Kunbara via message about what we have discovered. I'm sure she would want to know about anything about Koltessa, any leads. Especially if we are going to be heading to another location, she should definitely be informed.
I picked up that you have an interest in Kunbara. Maybe we should just make it an in-person conversation.
You're gonna see her try to just blush a little bit, like, well, you know, I don't know if we should go see her, but you know, if you insist, I guess
settled.
we could go see Kunbara. I mean, if it's what you want.
I just want you to be happy.
Well, I'm only happy when I'm killing people, but we could do that.
Okay, so the night goes.
During a couple hours before the night, I'd like to train with some of the guards, just, you know, typical.
And I would like to start copying down all of what I saw in the book.
Okay.
The book.
In the book. Is there anything you want to get out of it? Like, do you want to anything you want to get out of the training, or?
No, just want the guards to be better.
Okay.
I'd like to add pictures.
Huh?
I'd like to add pictures.
I thought you said I'd like to look at dad pictures.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
What that dad like?
Okay. Varkir and Thunky, are you doing anything in this sort of the time in between now and tomorrow?
I'm going to get a really good stretch in, eat a very large meal of carbs, and go pick up those glass things.
In between now and that time that day.
Oh. Well, then yeah, just the first two.
Working.
I guess for the first time in a long time, Varkir is going to just kneel down and try and actually get in touch with the angel that always speaks to him. Just like, I never talked to you. I never. And just trying to ask him like, what did you? Can you like? Is there any like? What is going on with the Invictari clan right now? Some things my companions have told me have brought me here. They have brought me this low, so please.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a religion check.
Ooh. Putting all my good vibes in this one, Rummy.
4 or 5.
Okay. You don't hear much, but you do feel the presence, or the presence.
Like shiver a bit, like.
But you do know that this angel that you normally speak to is more vocal when you sleep.
Okay. Like I guess if we're done for the day, it's still afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very well. I will wait for your answer at the appropriate time.
Okay. You all retire after doing. Oh, my thingy fell. Hopefully, it's still on. Is it? Let's see. And it is. Victory. Okay. You guys finish your activities and all retire to your personal chambers within the fancy main. I don't think you don't take a point of exhaustion, do you? You fully copy down the book into. You're adding pictures.
Yes.
It's a bit larger than the other one, and as you hear the crow of the roosters and some other livestock animals sounds as the sun comes up, you finish your last page and you put it down. Okay, then you all gather in the morning to the fancy main. We'll say about maybe like with this group.
Huh?
Actually, yeah, maybe about like 7 a.m., 7:30. And Melvin's still there cleaning his glasses, just a few groggy people. Some people are clearly getting over a hangover, just almost like head down, like barely sliding food into their mouth. Yeah, what are you guys up to?
Is our breakfast prepared for us?
Of course, yeah, just to expedite things. It's how you guys are in your opening moment. We come to the scene of you putting some food into your mouth.
Perfect.
And yeah, what are you guys up to? Birds fly overhead because it's an open air.
It's an open
tavern.
air tavern?
Yeah.
Wow, could you describe
You see a squirrel like climb from one of the tree branches that's arcing down to help support the structure, just like run down and like take some of the leftover food and shove it into its mouth, and then look into the open sky. 'Cause there's an
Aw.
open sky.
I'm gonna share some of my food with it as well.
I see a bluebird, and I
Do you?
I,
You just make that up?
and I shout, Artemis.
You know, bluebirds have been exiled
Just kidding.
for 100 years.
Okay.
Damn.
Wait, so are
Have
we
they?
still playing?
What did the bluebirds do?
Yeah, my God.
Yeah, we have a little while.
I asked Melvin about the bluebird story. I'm gonna mess with Melvin.
Hertek, how's it going this morning?
Oh, it's
Look.
another fantastic day.
Good,
Melvin.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it so?
What's going on with that glass?
What glass?
The glass in your hand right now.
What about it?
I'll
I don't
pay you.
get it.
Put it down.
I can't.
I will pay you.
I have a hand. What is it? Not an oral
I will
fixation,
give you
but
1,000 gold to put it down.
1,000 gold. This is like a quest for me, isn't it, Hertek?
Yeah, it's a
You're
quest.
trying to bring
Yeah.
me in to the
No.
mercenary circle.
No.
Oh, you shut me down a little bit.
I mean, it's if you want to be involved in that mercenary circle, by all means come with us on dangerous missions where you will possibly die. I've
Roll
went down a couple times. Believe me.
Roll an
It's not
intimidation check.
Ooh. 16, motherfucker.
Natural?
No, just normal.
Oh. Natural? He goes, you know, I'm comfortable supporting right where I am.
And you are the best at it.
Thank you.
But put
You know,
the
ever
glass
since
down.
I was saved by mercenaries as a child, I've always just wanted to give back. Part of me thinks that I might be able to make it, but the other part of me is fine just knowing that I can help you guys out whenever I can.
Would you like to be trained? I do train the guards at night, and you can join us, by all means. If you want to feel like you could defend your fancy maid and defend your city, I will gladly take you on.
Roll a persuasion check.
9 is a 6. It's a 9. It's a 9. It's 10. Natural, not natural.
I just have so many glasses to clean.
No, you don't. You have the one glass that's been in your hand ever since I've known you, Melvin. For like 50 years now.
There's like this speck that won't come off. You see right there?
I take
I'm
it.
just trying to, but no. Roll a, whatever you want. then he'll roll whatever he wants.
Natural 19. 24.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely take it out, and he sort of shrugs his shoulders and reaches under the table and grabs another glass and starts cleaning it.
Is it a dirtier glass?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. There's just so much cloth over it.
I look at it, I inspect this glass, and I take the speck, and I just...
Oh, thank God. Thank angels.
Oh, God. It's weird. Thank deities. I hand it back to him, like, well, if you ever change your mind,
Well, it just seems that I'm no good at anything. Ah,
you are the best at what you do. I mean that. I wink.
it sounds patronizing when you just handed me back something that have been working on for centuries.
I, like, flex a little bit. I'm like, I didn't save the city with my looks.
You win some, you lose some.
I never lose. So,
Maybe I'll just let me clean a few more glasses and I'll take you up on that offer to train.
okay. Well, it's always open, Melvin. You get back to your cleaning your glasses, weirdo. But alright, bye-bye.
Okay. Anybody else up to? You guys going to Cumenta? Oh, Crow has the book prepared and ready.
Anything good, Grow?
It's all here. Everything, plus I made it easily digestible with pictures. And
You're so thoughtful.
it's called Stars for Dummies.
I don't know what that last part means, but thank you, Crow. I do appreciate this. I give him a...
It's a quick read. Better for us all. We ain't got time for this stuff.
So I'll take
Well, with this stuff we do have time for, but
and as you were transcribing it onto physical paper, some of the things that some of the deities that Pow was mentioning align and are mentioned in some of the pages that you were transcribing.
Did you happen to learn anything about the deities in which we were discussing the other day?
yes, and I'd be happy to show you.
Would you have read it? Actually read it?
I mean, I was writing it all, so I imagine I can comprehend as fast as I can write.
Just
Out of ink. Out of toner.
So, primarily, this book is about a cosmic event that happened 5,000 years ago. It talks about the juxtaposition between fallen angels and guardian angels. The fallen angels sort of banded together under the idea of one primary angel that it doesn't reference its name, it just references like a certain power that's sort of mixing things up for the fallen. And the guardian angels, who are trying to maintain the current structure of all realms and the balance between all of those realms. After this cosmic event pretty much shattered the northern portion of Melibrius, afterwards the lesser races, not the angels, but the mortal races, sort of banded together with the guardian angels, and they went on what was called the Divinus Signum, which is what Pow mentioned. And it's really the resignation and commitment to pretty much sacrifice their lives to seal the fallen angels with the help of the guardian angels. And the pact between the mortals and the guardian angels essentially said, like, you help us seal these guys and we will lessen our intervention in this world, because we can tell that this is destabilizing your world. Like, angels should not be fighting on mortal grounds. And so they sort of went away. They still exist. Like, that's what Regentia is. is she was a guardian angel that is just sort of like dormant or in hiding, just like pulling some strings here and there, but it's not like, I am an angel and here is a fierce storm to wash away the land. And they mention that the only person or the only being, the only thing that knows the original sealing method is known as the Guiding Dreamer. And the only known location that describes where the Guiding Dreamer is the what is called a place coated in a tired mist. That's about it. It's just like a history of that cosmic event, what led to it, and yeah, some minor details up to it.
Can I just relay all that to these guys?
Yeah. It's a long breakfast.
I'm gonna read about it in the book.
Here you go. You can pass it around.
Right here, I drew a picture.
oh yeah, that's cool. You captured Regentia really well.
Yeah, I don't know how I draw pictures.
I was trying to imagine that too, and I couldn't.
The way they're described in the book.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that wasn't me.
Yeah, it's my stomach.
He's hungry.
I just ate, and I don't know why it just does that.
Well then,
Well, I suppose we can head to Cumentus's then.
okay.
No words swapped over this new information. Just going to Cumentus's.
Oh, I mean, I relayed the information.
No, I know. I'm saying that there's just like, oh, okay. Well, let's go. Great.
Well, we should head back to both the Master Librarian and Pow Levin to see if they know of anything about this guided dreamer in the tired mist.
Okay.
But we can do that after the Cumentus if you would like.
I really want to see my master and his house. It's been quite some time. It's probably dirty.
No, we'll go to Cumentus, then we'll go back to the library, and then head back to the.
In Barkir, the time that Crow describes in his retelling or recounting of what he experienced in the book is a time that sounds a little bit familiar to you, because you do remember there being much more angelic intervention during that time. During your time.
He doesn't recognize it.
What?
Because he doesn't.
It's not the right mark here.
I don't know.
No, this Valkyr has memories of before the final battle, just not the final battle. The other Valkyr has memories of pretty much most all of it. That's why he's so bitter. Except for like the last little bit of revenge.
Revenge, you do. Okay, so you guys are heading to Cumentus's?
Yep.
All right.
Are we all headed there?
Yes.
It doesn't take you long to get there, especially with Crow leading the way. He knows exactly where to go, and those that accompany him recognize the path and are just possibly feeling some kind of shame or regret. They're seeing familiar landmarks.
Let us feel the bush where
You're getting
this bush.
close to the house, the manor, Crow, and its normal signs of being there are all gone. There is.
What do we see?
You approach a gate, the gate that you're familiar with the interlocking sort of gears affixed together and the different rolling mechanisms that pretty much shift and separate the gate away. That's already apart and revealing the inside of what Cumentus's old home is just soot and brick covered. Pretty much all of the destruction has been cleared away. Like all of the debris is just flat ground with different like ground level brick remnants and soot outlining the different rooms that used to be there. Does that make sense? So it's just like flat ground and like a floor plan.
The foundation, pretty much.
Exactly.
Like, oh no, what happened? This is crazy.
What is going on here?
Crow, I'm just as surprised as you.
It looks like an explosion happened here.
I had no recollection.
I swear, this is his property. Where's the manor?
Looks like the explosion happened a while ago.
The explosion.
There's nothing here.
What
Except for some debris and rubble.
What happened?
I don't know.
We could always
I
ask
honestly
a guard.
don't know.
We should ask a guard.
Hmm.
They would have way more knowledge about what happened at this
You're
location.
absolutely right. Is there a guard in the area?
Actually, yeah. This is more of the higher class area of the district. There's a guard, not every block, but there's definitely a patrol that'll come around every now and then.
Guard!
Yeah?
What has happened to this property?
Oh,
This is Master Cumentus's property.
Yes, of course, everybody knows that, but there was an explosion a while ago. I mean, he always messed around with a bunch of crazy things. And, it was after his death, so maybe he, left the oven on or something. Who knows? It was wacky.
Hey, Donovan.
Donovan?
What do you
who's
mean?
that?
Master Cumentus is alive.
No? You? Oh, Crow. Hey, Crow. That's crazy. Yeah, no. He's just supposed to be dead. Yeah, maybe you know something I don't, but that's
You must be
popular.
missing then. So, what caused this
Missing-
explosion?
Right. Ooh, we haven't been able to tell. It was something on the second floor. It went kaboom, but that's all, It's, there were signs of a lot of experiments over here, and, well, I guess one thing led to another, and it just went boof.
The crow freezes up for a second, and the light in his eyes start to sputter, and
Do you know what happened?
he doesn't respond.
You were
But-
his, friend or, pet or something, right?
His eyes glow again, and he doesn't really respond to the guard, and he's like, "I have to check on something," and then he takes off.
Hold on. When you say that, you see a familiar in the space that used to be Cumentus's main study, not like his workspace or anything like that, just more like book reading and things of that nature. You see a familiar square orange outline on the ground with a line leading up from the tip of it with almost like an image or an icon of a hand. You're the only person who sees this.
Like when I ran up to it,
Yeah.
I gotta put my hand on the hand.
Welcome, Master Crow.
Thank God.
And the now everybody else sees like the line that you saw sort of vibrates a little bit and disappears as some of the soot and dust fall in, and it starts to shake and go, revealing a staircase.
This never interacted before. The master told me never actually to touch this. I'm going in.
Do you need help? Just in case.
Maybe.
Do you want us to come with you?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Donovan. Bye.
Oh, okay. Bye then. I'll be here if you need me or anything.
Don't tell anybody.
That's.
I slip him 5 gold. Don't tell anybody.
You guys are supposed to be like the upholding the law and like. But okay.
We don't want other people
I got kids to feed, you know.
stealing from Master Commentus' house. So this is still maintaining the law.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, well, that's good and everything. Goodbye. I didn't see you.
Yeah, hey, that's the way to think. I walk away.
Did you just call him Donovan? Just
Yeah, just random. Sounds like a Donovan.
Okay, you're going down. All right. As you walk down the stairs, it goes from sort of this stone foundation to more of this sleek sheen. It is a kind of material that you have seen every now and then. Like swords are made out of it, but you've never seen metal sort of like smelted to create something so large, if that makes sense. And so the entire bottom structure is just metal-lined walls with different racks with really sleek metallic body parts and different almost like animal creatures as well, different tubes with different organic material growing inside of them. Like one portion of the wall is more plant-based, another is more like animal creature-based, and then another is more like fusion of any kind of thing you've ever seen before, just like almost abominations. Imagine like a sci-fi laboratory down here, and in the center is this this console that is maybe like half circle, and it's got a dais in the center of it. Are there any golems?
Do I recognize this place?
Cumentus invited you down here once before, and you get sort of like the Dolores kind of feeling of being down here many times, but you only have one actual memory of being down here.
I think this is
There's even
where I was
a very archaic looking warforged, just like in scraps hanging on the wall. Like arm is fallen off, but also placed sort of like similarly, or placed by where the arm would be, just sort of like in kind of pieces. It's almost like seeing a younger brother.
What is Master Cumentus should have thrown this junk out long ago. Rubbish.
What
I'm
is
gonna
it?
head over to the console.
Okay.
What is it? This familiar to you, Crow?
No, that's trash.
The console gets the dais, the top of it, the orb on the top starts to highlight and get brighter and brighter the closer you step to it.
Ooh, it's reacting to me.
This, for lack of a better term, I guess I'll try and explain it in fantasy terms. Light sort of collects off to the side of the dais into the form of a swooping bird and lands on the dais as a crow and looks at you.
Dad.
No reaction.
I'm gonna try to via my neural pathways. Anything?
No, you know that most things have required a physical connection in the
Oh.
past.
Okay. I'm gonna reach out and try and touch it.
Do you have a USB cable?
Okay, it as your hand reaches through it, it sort of like disperses into many different kinds of characters and shapes, and it's almost like they get sucked into the dais, and the panels in front of you light up as well, and a topographical map comes up and is displayed with this pinpoint location in the Gragnar Mountains, a place you've not been before.
Does anybody here recognize this map?
Would I? Would I?
Wait, probably not.
What is the...
And
the
it
marker
says,
say? What's it look like?
"Welcome, Crow, to your home." And this like data is starting to get fed into your brain, and it's this almost like this is pretty much your land now. It is Cumentus has it's the deed essentially scrolling down in your favor, and it's got like this blank signature that you're just seeing in your head.
Maybe this is what the Master was talking about. Is it obvious how to sign it?
Gonna leave it for you.
Yeah, it's obvious how to sign it. You just electronic signatures are
My
very
eyes
well
light
accepted.
up, and I sign it.
Crow, and whatever other designation you want. And congratulations, you now have a patch of land that is burned to the ground. But essentially, it means you can do whatever you want with it.
I have so many ideas. Well, first maybe I should find out how to lock this thing.
Locking down. Bird flies away.
You are all going to die now.
Yeah.
Michelle Rodriguez?
If you all want to leave me here, I would enjoy that. I can meet you back at the Fancy Maid.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Yes.
Varkira, there's a lot of sciencey stuff going on down here, as well as a dot on a map that, with your map, you might be able to.
Did we all go down there with him, or did we all just?
Yeah, I thought you all did. Everybody?
Yeah.
I think everybody fled back there.
Oh. Well, then you can decide to be down there, or you can decide to have no idea.
I guess I'll just have no idea. I didn't say anything, so I also have no idea. I'm not gonna just
Okay.
say that.
Well, upon exiting, I'll be like, back here. There's this digital topographical map down there that you might know.
You would have
something
no idea
about.
what digital is. A lot of that down there looked like a
Digital?
different kind of
Oh.
magic to you.
There was a floating topographical map down there. I don't know how it's down there, but you should go look at it. It's like nothing I've ever seen before.
I guess I will take a look then. I guess. Like,
Watch out for golems. I say that as the Crow when I'm leaving. I'm like, watch out for the golems. They're a real pain.
I guess I walk down there and just try and jot notes on the
I stopped
map.
kissing the other.
Just comes down to you like,
Finding out a
What?
lot about
well,
himself
hey!
down here. Okay, jotting down notes.
Yeah.
What are you trying to? Are you trying to find out anything, or are you just trying to just like?
Like
Yeah.
just jotting down the notes to see like the dots that are floating on, and then I'm gonna go back and compare it to what the other map showed. Like, what is Comment just trying to say with this map? Like, just trying to figure out what this map is for, basically. I guess.
Okay, it's the best that you can tell. It is it overlaps a city called Aquiago, and it's coming like the way the topographical map shows is that there's like the city, and then this is a little bit under the city.
I guess I'd look over at Crow and be like, do you know where that this is a chamber below this city? I guess. Is that where you're trying to get to?
I guess maybe the master has many underground chambers.
So I guess I'll write down where that is and be like, should we go there, or would you like to spend more time preparing your abode?
I would like to stay here a while and see if there's anything else more for me here, but maybe after we go to the training, but I forget the name of the other place.
The library? The Gleaming Library, the Temple de la Chantier, Twisted Crystal, Fancy Main?
It's not. It's
Barthor's Reach?
What do we?
Barthor's Reach. Maybe after we head there.
Very well, we can do that. Whenever you're ready to come out of this place, just I guess I don't know, shoot a firework off or something you have that will.
I will meet you at the Fancy Main tonight.
Splendid.
Thank you.
With that, I walk upstairs.
Okay.
I'm just telling Thunky, like, yeah, we fought the golem right there, and then it blew up. It was like, everywhere. It was great.
What?
But nothing.
You as you're downstairs looking one last time around, you hear like a couple of metallic things fall in the corner, and you see Penke like,
You've been holding out on me, Crow. I didn't know you had this many shinies around. Splendid, splendid. You share your chambers, I'll share mine.
Wait, I have Punky on me now? Or
did I say Thunky?
No, sorry. I have Punky on me?
No, Penke is out of the bag, and just like
Unbeknownst to me.
just like fiddling with all of the different things that are kind of even unique to anything any of you have ever seen before, except for maybe you.
I don't know who Penke is, right?
They've introduced you to Penke.
Penke, what are you doing in here?
I am the purveyor of shiny objects and magical wonders. That is exactly what I see here.
Until further notice, these are my shiny wonders.
Oh, come on, share a little.
After I have gone through everything, then maybe. But until then, you'll just have to be patient. I'm not saying it's completely off limits, but I would like.
That's what I needed to hear.
And he just like scrambles up the stairs and hops back into your bag.
Yeah, and do one of those squinty eyes as he exits.
Okay. All right. What are you guys up to?
Gotta head back to the Fancy Main.
I went to go get the glass things.
Okay. Are you locking this down, or are you spending a little bit more time in your grow?
I'm gonna be in here.
Okay, got it. Okay, you make your way back to the to Twisted Crystal at the peak of the bridge, bridging the Psi system with the Kalenbar system. We'll just keep going with those names, and it's. Oh, this is a new day. Yeah. So it's maybe like noon at this point, and he has just finished dealing with another customer and putting a very hefty bag of gold into his he's like opening a chest and putting it in, and he looks at you, and he just drops the bag of gold, closes the chest, and just sort of presents himself to you like,
Hello, yeah. Oh, what's going on here? It's good to see you again. Good to see you again, indeed. How can I help you?
Yeah, those crystals.
Crystals.
The ships. You got those ships?
I've got one. You gave me a day and a half. You gave me a day and a half!
I gifted you a day and a half. How long before the other one is finished?
One more day. I promise.
Does this one at least have the charm in it?
The charm? There's none of them have charms, and it's just a glass boat. He didn't ask for anything else. I promise you, he didn't ask for anything else. I promise.
I specifically remember 1.5 days to finish the glass pieces and put a magical charm in one of them.
And this is one. I still have the opportunity
And
to
you'll
do that
put
to
the
one
magical
more.
charm in the other one.
Remind me what this magical charm was supposed to do again. I've got so many, I was just hard to decide.
Can I roll an intelligence check or his? I don't know.
A remembering check?
Yeah, I know he said some sort of charm, and it was like Regencha's favorite charm or rock or something.
It requires boats, glass boats.
It was boats, but wasn't there like something you wanted inside of it? You didn't
I think
say
you're
that?
confusing the bonsai trees, where they will, like, depending on which ones you get and how you grow them, they will have like an effective radius of a certain trait or boon.
I could have sworn there was a charm. Well, in that case,
I'm dealing
I
with
want
a crazy
you to.
person.
I'm just having a conversation with myself in the middle. In the second one, wait, hold on. This is for Regencha though, right?
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. I will be back tomorrow, and that second boat will be done.
Are you gonna take this one?
Yes.
Good.
If it's not done tomorrow, though,
You know how much money I've lost? Focusing all on these
good.
boats?
It's karma
What karma for what?
for stealing money from these people.
He handed it to me willingly!
I don't care. You should know better. I saw the amount of gold that other customer just dropped off. I'm sure it's way
Also
more.
willingly.
Are there price tags on any of your items?
Of course not. You can't put price on
You're a
art.
thief.
A cheap price, anyway.
Have the boat done by tomorrow, or else
Okay.
you're dead.
Yeah, I know that.
Wrap this boat up very nicely. Gift wrap. Complimentary.
That'll be an extra.
No.
Okay. Alright.
And he just like he delicately plops it on the table, brings out this very intricate, shiny, like multi-patterned, like gold inlaid gift wrap, and and it's almost like perfectly outlines the boat, and he just
Curl the ribbon. Thank you. I'll be back tomorrow.
If you have anything else that comes up, don't worry about it. I'll be fine. You know, you don't have to come tomorrow, but I appreciate it. Now,
I'll
just
be
get
there.
out of here.
I take the boat. And I go back to the fancy
You're a bad
mine.
person. We're both bad people. But I want you to know that you're a bad
Don't
person.
put me on the same level as you.
I'll put you on the same boat as me. Alright. Bye.
I slam the
Hope I
door
never
as
see you
hard as I can when I leave, hoping that something will fall.
roll a strength check.
Unnecessary.
I don't like this guy.
Oh wow.
22.
So it's got like tied to the outside, like 2 glass ornaments, 2 like like reindeer glass ornaments, and as well as windows as well, like many different sort of like patterns within the windows. And as you slam it, it's like a hurricane just focuses on that one door, and the deers clank together, shatter the window behind them, shatter the bottom window, and shatter the main window. And you just hear, "What goddamn!" And just like this angry roar of frustration.
Okay. I will feel slightly bad for that, and I'll flip them 2 gold pieces.
They just like fly through the broken window and bounce on the ground and hit his counter. Yeah, and that's
just yell backwards, "Tomorrow!" And walk back to the fancy main.
You just like see like the bright flashes of blue of just like working with thunder and lightning and different things to create these. And that's where we'll end this episode.
Can I at least give it to him first?
I give what? Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I'll be like, I got word that he finished this early.
Wow, he must have really just had nothing better to do.
He
How
said
did you
he really
wait? Why did
appreciated-
you go pick it up?
I was just in the area and he caught me off the street and he was like, "Look, I know you guys, you did a lot for our city. I really appreciate your guys' hard work.
Wow,
I wanted to give back to the community."
what a nice guy. Thanks for picking it up. You're so
No problem.
nice, Thunky.
No problem.
You're a really nice person.
Yeah, there's no reason to go back there. It's fine.
Well, I got to. I mean, I unwrap it. How does it look?
It looks like instead of a very detailed glass boat, it looks like what you could expect from somebody taking a chainsaw to like a block of ice.
What? He didn't even do a good job?
Not really.
Wow, this is nothing like I asked for. I'm gonna go back and talk to him. Maybe I didn't give I didn't give him good details on what I wanted. Maybe he was rushed. I don't know. I mean, I still got one more boat, but I should definitely head back there to tell him in greater detail on what I wanted.
You should be very firm with him.
Yeah, I definitely firm. This is a piece of junk.
How dare he desecrate your god?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back there right now.
We can if you want.
We'll pick it up on the next episode.
Oh boy. No one was supposed to know. Now they're all gonna think I'm mean.
I mean, wow, who would have ever thought of that? You threatening a person who I gave a generous amount of
He's a
time to,
thief.
who I didn't care how much money I spent.
Well, okay, with that, we will pick up the next exciting episode where Oren's Obliterate may, depending on what they decide to do in 24 hours, fight against the guards of Orenbelle.
And kill a merchant.
And who knows what's going to happen with that guy?
Who knows what's gonna happen to that
Nothing
girl?
good.
What girl? Thunky.
Oh, yeah. Find out next time on SASANs and Dragons. As always, until fate next brings us together. And never stop playing role-playing games.
Like, subscribe, comment.
That as well.
夜明け生まれ来るものよ決して